The Fraser Valley Real Estate Board stats are out, so that means this is the Surrey Report for September 2021. In just a couple of seconds, my amazing team is going to share with you the pricing across the city of Surrey in each major asset class. And then right after that, it's time to talk about what you can afford for your money, and specifically what you can afford with your money within the Fraser Valley. Yes, that's right. Sahil asked, how much of a loan can we get based on the amount of down payment and the salaries that we have? So in this video, I'm going to show you 5 different household incomes and what those incomes qualify for, along with the minimum down payment and transfer taxes, therefore savings required in order to purchase a property. But first, as promised, here are the stats for the city of Surrey.
In the detached market, benchmark price is around $1,451,000. Now that's a 29.7% increase year over year and a 1.4% increase month over month.
Moving into our townhouse market, we have seen 301 sales in the month of August, as opposed to 320 sales for the same period last year. Our benchmark price is $715,500. That's up 0.7% month over month and 22% year over year.
Our benchmark price for condos is $451,200, and that is a 12% increase year over year and a 1% increase month over month.
All right, so let me lay out the groundwork here. First, I'm going to discuss with you the household annual salary. Then we're going to look at what type of a loan that can get you, the minimum down payment required to get that loan, and then the total approximate purchase price along with any transfer taxes. Putting all this information together will let you know how much you need to make, plus how much you need to save in order to get into the market. And a couple of disclaimers before I begin. First off, I'm not a mortgage broker. I'm a real estate agent. So this is not my profession. These are approximate estimate numbers. And you should never rely on a video like this for your own personal information. You need to get in touch with a professional mortgage broker in your area. Next, with these approximate numbers, you're going to have to know that they are subject to change. Should the stress test or any other mortgage regulation change, or even interest rates for that matter, it could have an effect on this information. Also, these numbers are going to assume that you have no other debt given the household income that I'm quoting, and that you can then maximize your debt ratios for the purpose of housing. Also, the numbers are a result of using only estimates for things like strata fees and other monthly expenses like property taxes or even heating bills. Your actual own specific qualification will depend a whole lot more on the property that you pick, given its actual expenses per month and other debts that you may owe. But the number one thing for you to consider before I give you these numbers is that the best way to get this information out to other people is by you hitting the like button. So if you could do that right now before I begin, I would really appreciate it. But with all that said, let's get on to our first scenario of someone making $40,000 a year annual household income. In this first scenario, the maximum loan amount is likely going to be around $146,500. The minimum down payment at that point would be 5%, making the maximum purchase price $154,200. Now, this household income cannot get you anything in my marketplace of the Fraser Valley board, but I did find a few sales out in Chilliwack, and this particular property here was a 593 square foot 1-bedroom apartment that sold for $135,000. Scenario number 2 that we're going to use is $60,000 a year household income, and that's going to qualify you for about a $251,000 mortgage. With a minimum down payment of $13,200, you can purchase a property for just over $264,000. And you're going to note here that we are still avoiding the transfer tax if you are a first-time buyer. So all you have to save up is that initial $13,200 for your 5% down. Now, in the Fraser Valley board area within the last couple of months, there actually have been 9 sales between $180,000 and $265,000. Most of them are apartments in Abbotsford. However, I did find one bachelor suite in Cloverdale right near where I live. But this is still entry-level product, and likely this is going to be for low-level investors or very entry-level first-time buyers. But when we move on to a $100,000 household income, you're going to see things here start to change, and let me explain why. You see, at a lower income, a much greater portion of your overall salary goes to those other monthly expenses, things like strata fees that I mentioned earlier. And what you qualify for is based on a percentage of your overall income, making low income earners qualify for a lot less. But when those things like property taxes or utility bills become a way smaller portion or percentage of your overall income, your overall affordability starts to increase at a very rapid pace. So at a $100,000 household income, your qualification immediately jumps to $457,000 just for your loan amount. Now put on an approximate savings or down payment of $24,000 and your overall purchase price now exceeds $480,000. And because we're still under the $500,000 total purchase price, we're still avoiding transfer taxes if you're a first-time buyer. And it's at this price point that you can be right within the city of Surrey, particularly this one unit I found that was 784 square foot, 2-bed, 2-bath unit in the Karrasch building. And in scenario 4, we're going to increase your household income to $150,000 a year. And this is where things really start to open up and change even more. At $150,000 household income, you can now afford over a $500,000 purchase. So for the portion of that property from $0 to $500,000, you're only going to have to put down a 5% down payment. But from that portion, which is $500,000 to $1 million, you're going to need to save 10%. The second is that now that you're over $500,000, you have property transfer taxes no matter what you do. So the rule with property transfer taxes, if you're a first-time buyer, is under $500,000 are exempt. There is a sliding scale between $500,000 and $525,000, but as soon as you hit that $525,000, it doesn't matter if you're a first-time buyer or not, you're paying the entire transfer tax. So obviously more savings are required for the higher purchase price. However, it's not just more savings, it's also a higher percentage of savings. But all that being said, your qualification now starts to skyrocket. With a $150,000 household salary, you can now afford a loan of $713,500. Now your minimum required down payment for that is $51,500, but you also now have more than $13,000 in transfer taxes. So your overall savings to get to your new $765,000 purchase price is $64,800. Now at this purchase price, you can easily get into any 2-bed or possibly even 3-bed townhouse that are really nice units within the city of Surrey itself. You could look at Sullivan or even Cloverdale, or if you needed way more space than that, I did find this 2,300 square foot 4-bedroom townhouse out in the valley. Now our last scenario is $200,000 household income. And this is where things change yet again, because at $200,000, you qualify for a $977,000 mortgage. But no matter what, this puts you now at over the $1 million mark, meaning that CMHC is no longer an option and you have to put down 20%. So putting down the almost $245,000 20%, that brings your purchasing power up to $1.221,250 total purchase price, with transfer taxes now over $22,000.
Thank you very much, BC government.
Making the total required savings in order to get to that detached home over $266,000. But now this new purchase price will get you into this beautiful home in Walnut Grove. Or if you're looking to make your life easier, go into Clayton and get a home like this that is nice and beautiful and modern and also has the benefit of a mortgage helper by way of basement suite. So there you go. That's what your household income will get you. Sahil, make sure you hit that like button. Please remember to subscribe to join our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Check out another couple of videos while you're here on the channel, and we'll see you in a couple of days.